This is the current affairs of January 2025, and here if we see the polity subject, number of questions, then we can connect that what is demanding chapters this year. Yes, first one is cooperative. So if we see Laxmikant, Cooperative Societies, this chapter is demanding this year. And then we are having 10 years of Niti Ayog. So here also this chapter 54 is important for this year. Then we are having Lokpal and Lokyukt. So here Lokpal and Lokyukt, this one is also important this year. And then Election Commission of India, this is the important chapter for every year, so we cannot let it go. Here we talk about elections laws, these all are the important chapters. Here electoral reform, and then voting behavior, and then we are having this short news. We'll go through all this later on. So first of all, you see this chapter 64, Cooperative Societies, and let's see what it takes in the almost last chapters. Okay, 64. Come on. Let's see. Here it is. Other constitutional dimensions. Cooperative societies. 64. The 97th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2011 gave a constitutional status and protection to cooperative societies. This line is important. In this context, it made the following three changes in the Constitution. First one is it made the right to form cooperative societies a fundamental right, Article 19, and then it includes a new DPSP on promotional of cooperative societies, Article 43B. Remember it? It added a new part 9B in the Constitution, which is entitled the Cooperative Societies, Article 243 JJ and 243 JT. Now let's see. Constitutional provisions. Article 9B of the Constitution contains the following provisions with respect to the cooperative societies. Incorporation of cooperative societies. The state legislature may take provisions for the incorporation, regulation and winding up of the cooperative society based on the principle of voluntary formation, democratic member control, member economic participation and autonomous functioning. Okay. Number and term of members of board and its office bearers. The board shall consist of such number of directors as may be provided by the state legislation, but the maximum number of the directors of the cooperative society shall not exceed 21. The state legislature shall provide for the reservation of one seat for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and 2 seats for women on the board of every cooperative society having member from such a category of persons. The term of office of elected members of the board and its office bearers shall be 5 years from date of election. Now this line is very important and it comes in the form of statement-based question. The state legislature shall make provisions for co-option of a person having experience in the field of banking, management, finance, or specialization in any other related field as member of the board, but the number of such co-opted members shall not exceed 2 in addition of 21 directors. Further, the co-opted members shall not have the right to vote in any election of the cooperative society or be eligible to be elected as office bearer of the board. The functional directors of a cooperative society shall not be the member of the board, and such members shall be excluded for the purpose of counting the total number of directors, that is 21. Then election of member of the board. The election of a board shall be conducted before the expiry of the term of the board, so as to ensure that the newly elected members resume office immediately on the expiry of the term of the office members of the outgoing board. The superintendent's selection and control of the preparation of electoral roll and the conduct of the elections to a cooperative society shall vest in such body as may be provided by the state legislature. Supersession and suspension of board and interim management. Here this question always asked, so just mark it. And then here suppression and suspension. No order shall be superseded or kept under suspension for a period of 6 months. Okay, this one is important. 6 months. The board may be superseded or kept under suspension in case of its persistent default of negligence in the performance of its duties, of committing any act prejudicial to the interest of the cooperative society or its member, of there being a stalemate in the constitutional functions of the board, of the election body having failed to conduct election in accordance with the provision of the State Act. These all are the statement-based question. Just revise it again and again. However, the board of any such cooperative society shall not be superseded or kept under suspension where there is no government shareholding or loan or financial assistance or any guarantee by the government. In case of supersession of a board, the administrator appointed to manage the affairs of such a cooperative society shall arrange for conduct elections within the period of 6 months and hand over the management to the elected board. Now, audit of account of cooperative societies. The state legislature may make provisions for the maintenance of accounts by the cooperative societies and the auditing of such accounts at least once in each financial year. It shall lay down the minimum qualifications and experience of auditors and auditing firms that shall be eligible for auditing the accounts of the cooperative societies. Every cooperative society shall be audited by an auditor or auditing firm elected the general body of the cooperative society, but such an auditor or auditing firm shall be appointed from a panel approved by the state government or body authorized by the state government. Here is the question. Auditor or auditing firm shall be appointed by whom? That is state government or body authorized by the state government on this behalf. Okay, the account of every cooperative society shall be audited within 6 months. In every 6 months, it shall be audited of the close of the financial year, in one financial year. Okay, the audit report of the account of an apex cooperative society shall be laid before the state legislature. Convening of general body meetings. The state legislature may provide that the annual general body meeting of every cooperative society shall be convened within a period of 6 months of the close of the financial year. Okay, we have read it. A right of a member to get information. The state legislature may provide for access to every member of a cooperative society to the books, information and accounts of the cooperative society. It may also make provisions to ensure the participation of members in the management of the cooperative society. Further, it may provide for the cooperative education and training for its members. Then returns. Every cooperative society shall file returns within 6 months of the close of every financial year to the authority designated by the state government. Okay, all is related to state government. These returns shall include the following matters. Okay, revise it again. This can be asked in the form of a statement-based question. Annual report of its activities is audited. Statement of accounts, plan for surplus disposal as approved by the general body of the cooperative society. List of amendments by the to the bylaws of the cooperative society. Declaration regarding the date of holding of this general body meeting and conduct of the election when due. Any other information required by the registrar in pursuance of any of the provisions of the State Act. Now, offences and penalties. Yes, this one is also important, but shall be the penalties. The state legislature may make provisions for the offences related to the cooperative society and penalties for such offences. Such a law shall include the commission or omission of the following act as offences. Again, this is important. A cooperative society willfully makes a false return to the furnish false information. Okay, any person willfully disobeys any summon, requisition or order issue under the State Act. Any employer who, without sufficient cause, fails to pay cooperative society the amount deducted from its employee within a period of 14 days. 14 दिन के अंदर. Okay. Any officer who willfully fails to hand over custody of books, accounts, documents, records, cash, security and other property belonging to a cooperative society to an authorized person. Any person who adopts corrupt practices before, during or after the election of the member of the board of office bearers. Okay. Application to multi-state cooperative societies. The provisions of this part shall apply to the multi-state cooperative society subject to the modification that any reference to the state legislature, state act or state government shall be constructed or reference to Parliament Act, Centre Act and central government respectively. Now, application to union territories. Union territories is also involved. The provisions of this part shall apply to the union territories, but the President may direct that the provision of this part shall not apply to the union territories or part thereof, as he may specify in the notification. Now, continuance of existing law. Any provisions of any law relating to the cooperative society in force in a state immediately before the commencement of the Constitution. 97th Amendment Act 2011 we have studied in first paragraph, which is inconsistent with the provisions of this part shall continue to be in force until amendment or repealed until the expiration of 1 year from such a commencement, whichever is late. Now, reason for the 97th Amendment Act. Why this happens? Why this happened? Okay. The reason for the adding of the above provision in the Constitution by the 97th Amendment Act of 2011 as cooperative sector over the years has made significant contribution to the various sectors of the national economy and has achieved voluminous growth. However, it has shown weaknesses in the safeguarding the interest of the members and fulfill of the object for which these institutions were organized. There have been instances where elections have been postponed indefinitely on nominated office bearers or administrators have remained in charge of the institution of the long time. This reduces the accountability in the management of the cooperative society to their members. Now, inadequate professionalism in management in many of the cooperative institutions has led to the poor service and low productivity. Cooperatives need to run on well-established democratic principle and election held on time and in a free, fair manner. Therefore, there was a need to initiate fundamental reforms to revitalize these institutions in order to ensure their contribution in the economic development of the country and to serve the interest of members and public at large, and also to ensure their autonomy, democratic functioning and professional management. Now, the cooperative society is a subject enumerated in entry 32 of the state list. Very importantly, state list, union list, concurrent list. These three are most important. Of the 7th schedule of the Constitution, and the state legislatures have accordingly enacted legislations on cooperative society within the framework of State Act. Growth of cooperative on a large scale was envisaged as a part of the efforts for securing social and economic justice in equitable distribution of the fruits and of development. It has, however, been experienced that in spite of considerable expansion of cooperatives, and their performance in qualitative terms has not been to be desired level. Considering the need to reform in the Cooperative Society Act of the state, consultations with the state government have been held at several occasions and in the Conference of State Cooperative ministers. A strong need has been felt for amending the constitution as to keep the cooperative fees from unnecessary outside interferences and also to ensure their autonomous organization setup and their democratic functioning. Now, the central government was committed to ensure that the cooperative society in the country functioning in a democratic, professional, and autonomous and economically sound manners. With a view to bring the necessary reforms, it was proposed to incorporate a new part in the constitution as to provide a certain provisions covering the vital aspects of working of cooperative society like democratic, autonomous, and professional functioning. It was expected that these provisions will not only ensure the autonomous and democratic functioning of cooperatives but also ensure the accountability of the management to the member and other stakeholders and shall provide the deterrence for violation of the provisions of law. Yes, this was it. Now we can see that connecting these current affairs questions with our preparation is very good move to boost your knowledge and to prepare for revision. So, and then we'll cover Niti Aayog in next chapter, then Lokpal and Lokyukt and Election Commission of India. This is the most important and it comes every year in all the exams. So, okay, this was it. Revise it.